Jeffrey and Adonis have won a chance to meet Russell Brunson and learn his online business secrets in person. Jeffrey wipes the greasy sweat from his palm down his trousers. I'm so bored. Why can't he hurry up? Jeffrey can't stop twitching because his attention span is so messed up from thousands of hours of scrolling on TikTok. Adonis is calmly sitting next to Jeffrey, unmoving, totally present, and with immaculate posture. Russell finally enters the room and introduces himself. He receives a moist and floppy handshake from Jeffrey and a strong, firm one from Adonis. He begins talking to them about online marketing and Jeffrey interrupts. I thought you were going to tell us how to get rich instantly. Adonis gives Jeffrey a look of pure disappointment. Doesn't he understand that it'll take hard work and time to build wealth? He should show some respect to the master. There's a few principles to the kind of business that you need to build that will make you into a millionaire fast laner. There's 5, and they are S.E.N.T.S. Control, entry, need, time, and scale. Let me walk you through them. Control is whether or not you have control of the business and also the livelihood of it. If there's something with high control, a business with high control, that means that there's no one entity that can fuck you. If there's a business with low control, that means that there is some kind of entity, company, client who can ruin your life. What do you think YouTube is? Answer this right now. As a YouTuber, do I have high control or low control over my business? High or low? It's low. Right? Because YouTube as a company can just ban me and they've shown that they will do this. So I have low control over my business. That's a bad thing. Then there is entry. Entry refers to how hard it is to enter this business. Is it super hard? Which means that there's kind of like a moat around your business. You remember what a moat is in like history class? Like there'll be a castle and there'll be a moat which is dug out and filled with water or spikes or alligators, and that way it's like a defensive ring around your business. Entry is a moat. How hard is it to enter your business? As a YouTuber, how hard is it for another guy to just start making YouTube videos? Very easy. So in this case, we'll say that's a low entry, like it's a bad level of entry. How about need? How much of a need is there for this business? Think about the thing that you want to get into, or maybe YouTube. How much of a need is there? How much value are you providing? What level of pain points are there in the business or the market that you're getting into? Need is all about just how many people want to buy the thing that you're about to produce. For a YouTuber, it's very mixed. You might think, oh, it's a low need. For example, a doctor, we could say, is a really high need, really in demand. YouTuber, in a weird way, it's a medium to high need because of how much the demand is of people who watch YouTube or content or social media or TikTok, for example. You wouldn't think that a TikToker is needed, but it kind of is because the demand is there. And let's say with YouTube, this advice which I give out is very needed. So I wouldn't say that YouTube is low need, even if it's something that's a little bit pathetic, like an entertainment YouTuber who does these challenges of, you know, like the I tried doing this and, you know, Mr. Beast style thing. You can still say that's a high need because people are still watching that because people need to be entertained. Of course, they should probably get educated instead, but we can say that's relatively high need. So if you're thinking about a business right now, you should be following along and asking these questions, and I'll walk you through like an actionable step in a second. Then time. And this is the one that most people actually know about. You want a business that's detached from your time so that your time has leverage. As a YouTuber, do I have a good use of time in this business? Is it detached from my time? Yes, I can make a video, and a video from 2 years ago is still making me money today. Awesome, there's high leverage on my time. For a doctor, for example, does he have high leverage on his time? Not at all. He can only work for 12 hours a day. He can't produce something that kind of does, you know, the work for him, whereas the content does, like the video does the work for me. So he's got low usage of his time. And then finally, scale. Can you scale? Can you help or give value to hundreds or thousands or millions of people at once? As a YouTuber, you can. As a doctor, you can't. So these are just some examples. So S.E.N.T.S, it's very interesting and it's very worthwhile for you to almost write down, if you wanted to do this, write down the letter C-E-N-T-S, and whatever business model you're thinking, put it against S.E.N.T.S. Now, it does not need to be totally that every single one is checked off. For example, as a YouTuber, most of them aren't checked off. but it's just something to guide you into making a business decision. You might be wondering, what is the absolute ideal business with this S.E.N.T.S protocol? Is there something that has yes on every single one? And there actually is. And this is probably the business which the most successful, intelligent people are getting into, but it's not one that you could probably get into right now. It's certainly not one that you should be considering as a beginner. When you're making maybe 100,000 per month, you can start to consider this. The business is making your own software. By this I mean, for example, instead of being a YouTuber, you make YouTube. So this takes like millions of dollars. You've got a team of nerds who you've hired who are making the platform. You're making the next TikTok. You're making the next Uber. These things require a fuck ton of money, right? But for example, let's say software, like you're making your own YouTube. This is what it is. Is there control? Do you have control over the business? Yes, you actually do, because there's no one person who can just shut you down because you're making your own thing. Is there high entry? Do you have a large moat around your business? Is it hard for other people to do the same thing? Yes, of course, because it's super expensive. Is there a need for it? Yes, of course there is, because there's always a need for better technology, better apps. It's very cutthroat, but if you can be a few percentage better than Uber, after 5 years, you will take over and you will have that billion-dollar market share. Is it leveraged on your time? Do you get like more output for your time? Yes, because the software will grow even when you're sleeping. And finally, is it scalable? Can 1 million people use your thing at once? Yes, they can. All 5. But that is super hard to get into. If you're thinking, oh, but I'll do it anyway, do the hard work. No. This isn't something that you can just start as like a beginner. It would be very foolish to have no experience, unless if you are maybe the software developer to begin with. If that's like the skill you've been working on for 5 years, 10 years, then go ahead. If you're more of like a skillless normal guy and you're thinking, okay, which business would make me 5K, 10K? Do not choose something like software. Once you're making 100K or 1 million per month, then you can go and make your own like TikTok or something, but that's a very big goal to move to.